fact that 3 years will not qualify a lot of people because a lot of people, I'm sure most members are like 2 years old. So we decided to work with 2 years old. And in these 2 consecutive years, that means 2 years straight out, if you may not qualify, why am I saying this? If you joined the association in 2015, am I right?
That's the first time you paid money.
No, 2016. 2016. Okay, you joined.
That's not right, Seth.
2016. That was the first time you paid money.
2016. Okay, how much did you pay? How much did you pay? 2016. How much did you pay? You paid
25,000.
Many ways, we don't have quorum now.
You paid
Do we have quorum?
You paid 25 or 55?
Go ahead.
No, I want to get all of that.
You don't need the figure. Did he pay or not?
Okay,
he paid money.
he paid in 2016, and then we had an issue with FA where he was suspended for 1 year.
Suspended for 1 year?
You were suspended in 2016. You came back
For 1 year?
You came back in 2017. Correct me.
Hmm?
2017.
Show me your correspondence.
For what? When did you send us an email? When you sent us an email?
27.
That
Appealing to be.
When you sent us an email back?
appealing to be taken back.
No, at least explaining whatever the issues were that.
Because you can't say I was appealing to be
Okay,
taken
fine.
back.
No, but when did you send us the
No,
email?
you give me. You are the secretary. You can give us all the dates.
No, but you sent us an
Because
email.
you just said 1 year. So give me
Yeah,
the dates. If you have your facts and figures.
Yeah, you were called back in 2017. So for 1 full year there was a gap.
I strongly dispute that.
You strongly were you at the last AGM?
In Calabar,
Were you there?
in Lagos. I was not there because I'm not in the country, but my staff was there,
But at the
and I
AGM.
paid for it. Yes,
At the AGM.
yes, I was represented.
Okay. Now for 1 year.
So if I was not for 1 year, I would not have been there. So it totally tells you that you don't have those facts straight.
Hold on. It's not whatever. You were suspended. There was a gap for a year, and then your membership now took up for the next time. If I remember very well, we had a meeting with the FA in 2017 at what's that hotel? Blue Lodge Hotel. Blue Lodge Hotel. Sometime in June. So we had a meeting with you where we discussed this issue, and we told you, we looked at it, you gave us your own reasons for what happened, and appealed for us to look back into the matter. You tried to explain to us it's not as it was. We told you what the facts of what we heard based on the letter that was sent to the secretary.
Which I never saw.
Yeah, well, none of us was at the event that happened, but we got a letter from a member of NATOP complaining about what you did. Now, based on that,
What
you said at Cape Town and Zimbabwe, based on that action, we thought that was totally anti the association. For you to go out and actually destroy your own association in the public. Now, if you are doing that to your own association, then that means you're actually saying the association, in fact, you don't deserve to be part of us. So you were suspended at the time, and then after a while, you sent in a letter, if I remember very well, if not one or two, personal letter to you, Mr. Kechi, and a letter to the secretariat, which I received. And I think, if I remember, I responded to you saying that we will let you know. After a while, we called you up for a meeting. You showed up for the meeting at whatever we talked about the matter. That was the first time we discussed the matter, and we told you we will come back to you based on what you decide. And not too long after that, before we come back to you, you paid in your dues. Can you capture the money to pay in that dues?
All of these stories, all of this.
Doesn't matter about what money
He
was
wasn't a
paid.
straight member for 2 years.
Yes.
That's the
So that's the
bottom line.
issue. So please excuse us.
And that's guerrilla justice. Please, I want to call on the board of trustees to use your wisdom and judge in this matter. Now, what is transpiring here now is the reason why this is the number of people at an AGM of an association. Now you have only 1, 2, and 3 members from Lagos because of this kind of behavior. No, you need to let me. You need to let me speak. I've not spoken since.
Point of order.
You need to let me speak, President.
Please, see, when people think they know how to do better than others, it's a self-deception. There's nothing. You came to Calabar, the same thing happened. Created a problem. The last general meeting we had, This guy stood up in the general meeting and said ESCO must be dissolved. Why? Because an election was done in February 2016. That this is February, so the thing has expired to go. We're talking about AGM, which is a period where people exit and come into association. Now we've had this over and over. So the issue in some of these
these things flying in my name.
People will arrogate to themselves. I brought this across to us. NATOP boasts of 6,000 members. I said so. And only 140 was in the election. The president that won had 108 out of 6,000. So that we have members, that people that are like, people can be plenty, but they don't pay dues. You came to AGM in Calabar 2016, and we had your adverts in every bank for only to show that from inception you had never paid ₦1. Now, but that's not the issue. The issue here is that you were suspended for 1 year. Please, can you excuse us? We are not for that. For this meeting, we have other things to settle later on. But for this meeting, please, I don't think you're
President, you cannot just take on all of those powers. I don't think the Constitution gives you those powers. You need to let me also speak. And sorry, Mr. Boko, I need to speak. I really wanted to speak
as a member.
Mr. Boko, please, I think you need to let me speak.
Sorry.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Now, the issue of that suspension, and I just let it lie because I wanted to let it lie. Because the truth is, the reason why I was suspended, Board of Trustee members, was for the fact that they said, in South Africa, I said that NATOP was not doing enough as an association. And that was my crime, that I maligned the association. Who was I speaking with? Who reported? Mr. Chike, that's what the president said to me, Mr. Chike of Abuja. So if I was going to say something, they said I said all terrible things against the ESCO. When I know Mr. Chike is a friend of Ikechi and the president.
Chike wrote a letter to us on your issue.
Yes, he wrote a letter.
Who is this guy?
So Mr. Chike may not have known me, but I know him.
Now listen.
President, let me defend myself. President, you have to let me defend myself. That's fairness. You owe it to me to be fair. Fine. So, if Mr. Chike, who I know very well, Chike may not have recognized me, but I knew him, and that's why I was speaking to him. If I knew Chike Chike was the friend of the president and Ikechi, I will not go and be gossiping against the ESCO in front of Chike. Does that make any sense? I knew him. I knew he was a close friend. My first major contact with him was the South African tourism event. I remember very vividly where he was sitting, by the door of this thing. So I knew him. He may not have remembered me, but I knew him very well. So if I was complaining to him that there were issues that he needs to do, was because I knew he was close to the president and the ESCO to try and resolve. But that was my crime, maligning the association. Otherwise, did I go to speak in public and say NATOP is a bad association? Whereas it must also be said, and we must all be fair, that anything I said to him, I've always said at meetings. Madam Gabati, Mr. Jami, you will remember that at every meeting, I'm always very vocal and saying we can do more as an association. We should not kid ourselves that this is the best that we can do as an association. So if that is my crime, then I don't even know why I should bother myself about these things. Really, is it the best that we can do that you are proud of? Really? And you are telling me this thing. So the fact that I did not go beyond that was because people said, don't worry, just lie low. Otherwise, telling Chike something can never ever be said to be maligning the association, because he's a member of the association. And he said Zimbabwe, because I also saw him there. I was like, what is happening? See what has happened though. So you can't tell me you're taking me out of this thing. Then who wants to form quorum for the meeting? Two people.
Apart from he went to South Africa or something, my present, me in Calabar, that was when I was trying to identify who paid and who did not pay. And right there, not who said or said, you said to me that, why would you pay? What are you people doing? You said it to me. That what are you people doing? That you wanted to see what we're doing before you can even make any commitment. What are you people doing? That's what you said. That you're not doing battles.
You don't have.
Now you're doing battles through South African tourism.
I've always been doing before then,
and you
Auntie.
never paid a dime. After then, that was when you now paid.
Go and ask the old secretary of NATOP. Go and ask the old secretary of NATOP. You can't send me out of this meeting. Why? What's this thing?
For
So who will now be two people and ESCO? ESCO is not even complete.
That's not your business.
No, wait.
But you can't send me out. There's no because that's been unfair.
Hello, please. You're not
That's
qualified.
been unfair.
To be here. You're not qualified.
And I want the elders to please speak up.
No problem.
Please, let's not let these things go like this.
Excuse us.
Haba.
Please, can you excuse us?
We've destroyed the association. Don't end up.
Am I allowed to make a contribution?
Hello, please wait. Can you please excuse us, please?
President, I don't think the constitution gives you the powers to take me out of their station.
Mr.
The constitution does not give you the powers. You have to work with the powers that the constitution gives you.
Where is that?
You don't have the powers.
One of the things that I think is extremely important. My own thought. I've always been more on the constructive side. I don't destruct. I don't like destruction. And so this one email. That's why I'm a bit very taken aback. When this email thing came, and people asked me to write, I didn't do that. I said I will call the Presido myself. And Presido, I called him. And for a number of times, I was actually chasing him. And I called the ambassador as well. Some of these challenges that we have, one of the core things that I thought is important that we don't walk out of this house with the idea that the ESCO conducted its own election. I'm saying this for us to take a point of note. We cannot be an ESCO and also be the one that conduct the election. That is extremely important because even the people that, okay, you're going to be giving them unnecessary tool. That is a very important point. So it cannot be the one saying who is, because you are current ESCO.
Hello, it is noted.
Okay, that's.
Thank you.
Where's my bag? Oh, that's my own. Okay.
Yeah, can we ask Mr. Gabe?
No, Mr. Keshe wants to say something.
No, what I wanted to say is that, we are accused that we set up Abuja to elect our own choice. So we have removed Abuja. So we are cleared of that. So nobody is going to say that the reason we set up Abuja was to elect Ime. We have succeeded because I read through all the accusations. So let's clear them one by one. For the account, we have cleared that no 2 million was given to me. For the election, the Abuja people had been excused from the hall. So I will also suggest that the BOT members can take over and we'll give them the position and do the election and we'll go. So that you follow everything proper. That's why I wanted her to read the account. The first accusation was I got money. So I cleared that.
Can't do an election.
Because I'm going back to the media to sort my own problems. So this thing said here, no wait, so
come now.
There is no 2 million given to me.
Yes.
Abuja people are not allowed to vote, so that nobody said we use them to elect a president, so we have asked them to go. So the next thing is that, so that tomorrow, nobody will say you were involved in XYZ. So let the BOT members sit down here, come over here, then they will come for it.
Okay, guys, Mr. President, before we come in, we just had an aside here. We'd like to just make an observation of what we've seen here. And then I'd like to commend the leadership of NATOP thus far. I pride myself to say I've been part of this body since 2003 when we were in the You brought Mrs. Obasanjo to this class and hooked us up. I am incidentally the unfortunate institutional memory for the cross-border tourism initiative running to 18 years. And I have seen it. I have tried. Jemi Alade was there. I met TKG for the first time in 2001, proud to resolve through the and our friendship has lived the sector. I call her Mama Tourism. She single-handedly brought the place in this country. In fact, we had to reroute the cultural center for the presidents that we did into the cultural center. Yes. She was in advance. She planned the primary tour operation for cultural. We got it wrong with our building blocks initially because we undermined the private sector. Government was too strong. I've seen a few things here which I would like to say, and I'll be a bit brutal for us to get it right. And it's simple. I may be the oldest serving public servant in South Africa, but there are younger people than me who are in the security, and I still bow down for them because either I like it or shape in or I shape out. I'm usually the most trained in tourism, having back certificates and details from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Washington on defense management. But younger people have been brought above labor. My contributions and the fact that they still seek my wisdom is unquantifiable for me. And for me, it's payback for all my life for what the state has done for me. So I stay on. And I open up like this. Try Boko. I met you in Ghana for the first time. Yes. After the experience in Boko. And ATQ, wow, you for me. And I respect you. The way you spoke before this children was very unfair to yourself. Because this you are the tomorrow. You cannot say what I have seen here is below minimum standard. You sell yourself. So you are bigger than that.
We are not money. We need our registration money now, please, so that we can go back to Abuja, please.
You are manager of men and resources. So our word usage will affect the way of others. Two things have happened here. First, the Abuja people innocently said they called them for this meeting without even mentioning election. That's a vindication. And I saw you know I liked it. I liked the idea because there was miscommunication all the way. They wouldn't even understand, you know. So I'm trying to encourage you, you know, that there's so much. You have name. That was how it told you. I've been lobbying you to come to Carnival Calabar so we can use your platform. These are the little things that in third world after God is government. These are the little things that make government stamp you out. So there's so much ahead for you. You know, this is advisory. If you've been around, you cannot stand inside the soldier hand to remove soldier hand. I'm South African saying, you know, you have agreed that you'll be unfair to your own family. This is our own tourism code. You must continue to find the positive kind. And you must lead by example. You must lead by example. When Fly Boko was corrected, he took his observations on the accounts, mostly innocent and uninformed. But the moment he saw it, and Mrs. was able to return. It is work in progress. Look at Great Jos. This is the balance of what we have of Jos. I am humble enough to say, in spite of what cross-state government has put in tourism, we have support from the World Bank, we have support from USAID. I joined the team to defend the tourism initiative at the World Bank for today. But look at where we still are. This is all we have left of Jos. This is the mighty that is still down there. We are trying to repair it. If 3 people will make a difference, let us lead them. That is what we clamor for the new Nigeria. Coming back to Ife, you must lead by example. Let this be an opportunity for us to learn, to take it over. I am happy you addressed it. That was what we did. We wouldn't have spoken, would have gone straight to the election. But it will be unfair if we do not speak. You know, we've looked at the situation. You need a lot of boardroom, and I will be in that boardroom. But for today, pretend to be part of this decision and let things be. If we were here to receive appeals to say, see with us, even these our younger ones who are disagreeing now, we'll tell them to observe. We'll tell them to just observe, not to vote. It happens in tobacco companies, it happens in CBN. But the rules must be set right. You've hurt your brothers, you've hurt your sisters. If I were you, it's only the strong can forgive. A big heart can say, oh, I've heard. Heard what that woman said, that mother. She's a mother with children in her womb, God gave to her. What they see, we do not see. If you stood up and say, well, there's miscommunication. Sorry, like your Yoruba people, Bende people do. You are the earliest people to Dobale. Great healing words, I am sorry. No one is an island. These fellows have toiled to bring us to where we are. You said again, this is why NATOP has been like this. That is why NATOP has been like this. We cannot, because of the 99 people who have refused to cooperate, continue to let them go. We have introduced commercialization for our tourism, because for how long are we going to continue to give out our pot of porridge? If Plateau, as we see them want to go now, we will come and support them for a fee. So the world is enough wise. Let us lead by examples. I believe that we are part of that problem outside there. I have been in politics for 32 years. We are part of that problem outside there. Let us prepare it, because this is what we are going to bequeath to our children. They are watching us. So that is my submission. In faith. And Jamil Alade, we are past stages where we will double speak to protect this sector. The new executive has a lot of work to do. Everybody must come on board. South Africa got to where they are now because of the Trade Commission. We must hold ourselves. If you have great ideas, don't stay behind. It's easy to stand, sit back. Ikechi, you brought the Americans to us for Carnival Calabar. We went on the road tour at 3 a.m. They didn't call me aside. People who criticize, give it to them, they cannot do it. Do what you're doing. That is happening there in Atlanta. They will criticize you, but give it to them, they won't do. They've seen me not sleep every day for till 4 a.m. with Ikechi. We were reviewing in the boardroom every day till 5 a.m. So please, let us lead by example. We cannot destroy ourselves in the home of tourism. Our word usage. We must use this statement to retract it and cover ourselves. Efe, you are a man. Your head against your brother. Chike has been around. Chike has been around with madam. You understand? And see, Chike documented you. In spite of your good thoughts, your well thought. Chike documented you. He's a systems man. It's a lesson. Let us use this. You learned. And you don't tell your president, you cannot take me out of here. That is now frontal. And we are ambassadors. A tour guide, I got certificate in tour guiding in Jamaica. A tour guide is an ambassador. It's a diplomat. So, and I still commend you, even though you owe us an apology. If you owe us an apology, before you step up, you owe us an apology so that we can. You owe your sister an apology. I'm big sis. Recognize you. Please. I commend you guys.
Okay, so can you please?
We are thinking from our table here in kitchen. Can they come and observe?
No, it's going to lengthen it. It's going to lengthen it, sir. Let us just
I think
it will lengthen
I
it.
think it's not a great man problem. Because you don't know what is going to come out of this arrestation. I think it's better to.
We don't let them. Don't let them. Don't let it. Okay. Let us just.
Okay, let me.
We apologize and then.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Gabriel. I'll take to heart a lot of everything you have said, because naturally you're one of those persons I've looked up to. I will apologize to her, but I would also like to say this. Everything I've said about NATOP, I've said at meetings. And I think that a friend who tells you something to your face that you despise, I don't know which other kind of friend that or enemy that we want. But probably the ESCO doesn't even know. We don't want people to tell us when things are not happening. There are a lot of people who don't talk when the meetings are on, but who behind say a lot of things. I don't know how to do that. I grew up in Warri where it is the way you say things the way they are, the way you feel them. And yes, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes you even calculate, you even assume that somebody has ulterior motives when they do have not. But when you air your mind, then the other person has an opportunity to say things as they feel it. You know, when you look at all of these things that have been happening, most times if you ask the secretary, I called her not too long ago, and I was like, and she was like, she remembers, I always call every month. When are we having a meeting? When are we having a meeting? She's sitting down in front of me. You know, so if these things continue, and I say, I don't think we're doing the best that we can, and I'm speaking to a Chike who is a member of NATOP, I don't know how that is a crime. But that being said, if there are any things I've done that has offended any of you, Mr. President, you remember my last email? I said it, like I said, I don't hide those things. The very last phrase was, I respect all of you a lot, because I know what you have, this SAT is, I know all of those things, and so I don't hide them. But that is the same thing about.
Let's reconcile after this. Let's talk about that. We are friends.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take my leave if that's what the house says. Take care. Thank you.
Okay, so formally for me, I think that we need another to one of the trustees just for this.
So you see the boju of the years. They are going to conduct election with 2 NATOP members and ESCO.
Okay, there are 2 NATOP, only 2 then.
Only 2. Because they have bounced me technicality.
Who are those bits? Only 2.
2 people are ESCO. They are going to get this thing. Boju.
But they postpone the election.
Do you understand? The letters we've been saying, we sent letters. Now only if I'm be the everybody send letters, but because it's me that they like. Now my face worry pass. But I told them. I've told them.
Are they
Which things did I write? Come to other parts. I'll forward you a trail of mails that members sent. Do you understand? I don't even know anything about how am I in ESCO where I won't know who dispersed money. But there are things that we all know, and I'll show you the trails. I showed somebody here today. If you give me your email address, I'll forward the trail to you. Trail. One person sends a mail, and I was not the first in any case. Somebody else responds, and these are the same issues.
Was it a trail that was started from somebody?
Whether it starts from somebody or not, the question is, was it true? Were those agitations right?
So were they true? Because if something is sent to me about you, I have to verify.
Yes. Okay. Now the question.
We are in the media world, but before a paper should publish something, they have to find out how.
Yes.
What's the validity of this?
So now, how you know whether it's true or not is how many members of Lagos came for this meeting.
But I'm told that because of the